I'm going to look at a couple of resumes that I've been kind of putting off. This is something I do from time to time. Somebody will send me their resume and I'll look through it. And let's get into the first one here. The very first one is I changed the names, just so you know. This first one here, let me see if I can show you my screen real quick. Testing, volume, test. Okay, yeah, I still got volume. Okay, good. All right, so now if you're just listening, I'll just explain what I'm looking at here and talk you through how to make a better resume. I am looking at a Taylor Flow. The names have been changed to protect the innocent. And she sent me a resume, and she is a certified nurse assistant who is trying to transfer into IT, some kind of IT, namely trying to get into risk management framework and be an information system security officer or something like that. So she sent me a resume, and it's a page, and it doesn't really have a lot of stuff on it, to be honest with you. It's 1 page long, and half of it has a summary, has a skill set, has experience in work, and it's not filled out very well at all. This is not going to get a job, not in information technology. I'm just being completely honest here, but this doesn't have anything in it. Now, I'm just kind of glancing through it, and she does have Security Plus, which she said she took in April 2020, and a Linux Plus that she took in 2020. So, yeah, this is not good. So, first of all, I changed the top to put the name on the very top, of course. The next part, she didn't have like a title. I put a title here, just Junior Cybersecurity Analyst. But honestly, I don't even know if you could really put this there, because I'm not seeing anything so far that would indicate that you are in this role or have ever been in any kind of role like this. So I don't know. We'll come back to that one. But you want to put a title up top, and then an email, of course, and then a phone number, which is pretty standard. In the summary, she has knowledgeable with 0 to 1 year experience in risk management framework, system development lifecycle, HIPAA and application NIST standards, aptitude for good customer service, excellent communication and presentation skills. All right. So this would be fine if you had something to back it up. The 0 to 1 experience suggests that I would just put 1 year's experience. If it's 1 year experience, put 1 year of experience. 0 to 1 doesn't really make sense to put in the top. So if it's 1 year, I would put 1 year. Skill set, she has familiar with risk management framework. Okay. Experience with cryptography. Okay. What can we do with this? This is basically a blank sheet. What would I do? So here's the thing. My wife is actually a certified nursing assistant, and it can be a hard job. So, and I don't know if she still does this, but she has hospice aid here, has work experience, and then she has top group tech from April to June 2020. So April, May, June. So that's like 3 months of experience. So, all right. And then under top group tech, it says assisted in identifying new viruses and malware. Okay. This is not, we don't know the impact. We don't know how many systems it was. How big was this company? This is not looking good. So what I would do is I would go for a help desk job. So I'm going to the top of the resume, and I'm just going to go ahead and put whatever position that she had here in top tech group, I would put that on top. So I'm assuming, let me see, what did she do? She assisted with some malware, she evaluated security controls, and she detected vulnerabilities. All right, maybe junior cybersecurity, but we need to really fill this out. So let's spend some time filling this part out here. So this was last year. Let's put, instead of assisted, let's just go right. Let's make this an impactful statement. Let's say identified new malware. And then so what would we have to go into the impact of this? What was the impact of identifying the malware? So if you identified malware, you potentially stopped ransomware, you potentially stopped a Trojan, you know, on how many systems? You know, I don't know all that information, so I'm just gonna have to guess what the impact might have been, and then I'll just explain to her like why I'm putting this information in there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say identified malware on, and I'll explain all this stuff to her, so she, you know, I don't want her to lie on here, but I just want to show her like this is the kind of impact you want to see on here. You don't want to just have a bullet where it doesn't even explain like what's going on. You want to go into details to show, hey, this was I understand how to find malware. You know, you might even want to put what tool you use to find the malware. You might even put like identified malware using, what tool could you use to, using, let's say Sophos or something. You could say something like Sophos, or you could say, what could use McAfee, Sophos, Symantec. That's just another thing you could do to say how you identified the malware. But let's keep going. Identified malware on 15 critical systems, potentially bypassing. Wait, no. Okay, let's see. I don't have enough information here, so it's really hard to write this. I'm just like really making stuff off the top of my head without any kind of, like, this is basically me writing a full resume with no, you know, with no information. I need more information. So I'll just do this one, and then I'll just tell her, hey, look, need more information like this. Okay, on 15 critical systems, and let's say potentially saving the organization thousands of dollars of damage. Removed. And this is an opportunity to like show like that you know the process of not only identifying, but how to actually quarantine, remove, isolate, respond, incident handling. So you want to, like, this is an opportunity for you to show that you know incident handling. Let's get rid of this misspelling here. Let's say reported quarantine. Let's say remove incident handling policy. Incident handling policy. So okay, so here, let me just explain like why I put all this stuff in here. What we're doing is we're tying the thing that she did. So she said she removed a malware. What was the impact of that? The impact is that we removed first of all, what exactly did we do? Removed malware. Let me move this comment. That doesn't make any sense. On 15 critical systems, potentially saving the organization. Here's the impact. Potentially saving the organization. No, not potentially. Let's say saving. And how would you know how much it saved? Well, if you did a business impact analysis, you might be able to identify how much it would have saved the organization. Or if you know it was a critical server, let's say if it was on a DNS server and it's going to take out the network for X amount of hours, you could calculate, you could have a rough calculation of how much thousands of dollars would have been lost in the time that this system would have had to switch to another system or something. You can guesstimate how much loss and damage might have been done on this. So that's one way you could calculate it. 15 critical systems saving the organization thousands of dollars of damage. Quarantined, removed, and reported the malware in accordance with the organization's this is going to be possessive organization's incident handling policy. And so now I'm just going to explain to her like why I put all this stuff in here and like what's the idea behind what I'm trying to do here. Because what I'm trying to do is go into detail about the action completed. And then you want to show impact of the action on the organization. And the reason why you're doing this is to show that this is something that had an impact on the organization. You're showing that you have value and you're going to bring this same value to another organization. You know, when somebody reads this, they're going to be like, wow, I want somebody to do the same thing to my organization. So that's why you want to show the impact. Another thing is when you go into detail, it allows you to do things like putting more keywords in there, keywords and key phrases. One of the keywords and phrases is incident handling. Policy is another one. Of course, malware, you know, so you want to put as many, and you could also have put semantic and what kind of tools you use. You want to put as many in there as possible because that's more keywords you're going to put in there. You're going to do the same thing with assisted in evaluating security controls. You're going to do the same thing with evaluated threats and conducted security scanning. This actually is like 2 or 3 different breakouts if you go into detail about your security scanning. What scanner did you use? Did you use Nessus? How many systems did you scan? What tool did you use? What did you discover? What kind of analysis did you do? You want to go into that level of detail on your resume to show that you really did it and put as many keywords as possible. Another thing is that she has a Security Plus. This needs to be on the top. If you have a Security Plus, you want to put that right up here, Security Plus, because you want to put your top certification on the top. Your strongest certification should be up here somewhere. Boom. Another thing is I need more detail. All of this needs more detail. So I'm just going to go ahead and tell her, hey, need more detail. Need more detail and impact. So that's what I would do. And these other items here, these should probably be down here. I mean, the thing is, what it is she has nursing assistant up top. She has hospice aide up top. You want to put the thing that you're going for, which is your technical skills, up top. You might not even want to put that you're a CNA on this one. I remember I used to be a cop. I used to put it on my resume all the time. But the thing is, you know, if that criminal justice degree doesn't bring anything to the rest of my resume, why am I putting it on there? So that's another thing that you probably want to do is not put. If you drilled or you were a welder or something, how's that help your IT experience? So those are just a few tips that I would bring to the table on that. I mean, I really need more details here. I mean, you've got to get more. If you happen to listen to this, Taylor, like you have to put more in here. And if this is the only experience you have, 3 months, that's not enough. You got to go out and get some entry-level positions, do some volunteer work. You got to do more because this is not enough. All right. I have another resume, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover that one later on. Right now, I want to go into something I started creating, a little course to start creating that I think might be helpful to some folks out there who are IT folks, who are risk management framework folks. I'm going to talk a little bit about privacy. I'm not going to go in super great detail. I just want to give you a preliminary overview of what I'm covering and give you an idea of what's to come. All right.